There we go. Jesus freaking Christ. I'm telling you, man, like technology, I love it. And at the same time, it's one of the most irritating fucking things you could deal with. Let me make sure we're live just because like this thing's fucking, who knows. Meanwhile, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RepTheWarriors.com and SpicyPros.com. I'm Eddie. That's Fred. You guys know us. We've been on this, doing this thing forever. We were just talking about that. We've been doing this for years. For years, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciate you guys being on the ride with us. MMA God's already on here. Perfect timing. I was power walking home like an old broad so I could catch Keyboard Warriors show. Had to get the dog out on a walk. Yeah, God's out there in Vegas now, dude. Doing his thing.
We're going to see you one of these times, dog. I'm telling you, we're going to have a fucking real meet in real life. We're going to come out to a fucking show in Vegas. Once all this COVID shit blows over, we're all going to fucking hook up and have a beer in real life and watch some fights. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, people are like, oh, I'm tired of COVID. Me too, but damn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Otis in the house. The big one this Saturday. Bull covers Harris. Right.
Good fight, actually. Good fight, actually.
No, that's a great fight. I'm actually kind of excited for that one as far as heavyweights go, especially with the way heavyweight is, super light these days. All right. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Just very quickly, we'll go over last week's we just talked the main fight. Brian Ortega dominating the Korean Zombie. Did you see that coming?
No, I won't act like I saw that coming for sure. No, but I don't think nobody's seen that coming. I did think that Brian Ortega would win. I did like Brian Ortega in the fight, but I think I like the same thing. I thought that he would be able to force the fight to the ground and get a submission. That's kind of what I was thinking. Who saw him outstriking Zombie for 5 rounds?
Fucking nobody.
And who's got worse luck with the spinning shit than the fucking Korean Zombie? Does he got the worst striking defense in the world? Like everybody
is right. We all picked Ortega, but none of us said he's gonna dominate the way he did.
No, we didn't. You gotta be fair. No, who would have? Like, if you wasn't in Brian Ortega's camp, don't fucking tell me you saw Brian Ortega consistently outstriking the Korean Zombie for 5 rounds. Full fucking shit. Like,
no way.
This is why we watch the sport, though. And I guess, I don't know, man. In hindsight, to be fair, maybe the Korean Zombie striking was a little overrated. I mean, he is the Zombie, so it's not like he don't be getting hit. He do be getting hit. He's just usually so fucking tough that he kind of bulldozes through it, and he does got, some power on his shots and shit. But I think maybe we all blew up a little too much his striking abilities going into this fight, because everybody, the narrative going into this fight was Brian Ortega's about to get the shit beat out of him.
Right.
He's not going to be able to get the fight to the ground, and Korean Zombie is about to just beat the brakes off of Brian Ortega. Like, I was a little surprised. Now, again, I didn't see him outstriking Korean Zombie like that, but I'm like, this is going to be a good fight. You guys, like, let's keep in mind, Brian Ortega's got one fucking loss, and it came to Max Holloway after he took a vicious fucking beating for 23 minutes straight. Like, he didn't even get finished in that fight. The fight got finished while he was still standing on his feet.
Right.
You have to remember these things. Like, Brian Ortega, he lost that fight, but he didn't lay down and quit. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't submit. He was ready to rock and roll. The doctor took it away from him. So, in hindsight, maybe this isn't as much of an upset as we thought, but no doubt about it, going into it, bullshit. None of y'all said like Brian Ortega is about to fucking strategically outstrike Korean Zombie for fucking 5 rounds. Nobody said that.
Nobody. Not even close. Yeah, but God's is right. We all picked Ortega, but none of us said dominating. I honestly thought submission. But
right. I think that's what everybody thought. That's the common
absolutely.
knowledge.
What's up, Sean? Says worse luck with elbows. Poor Zombie, dude. Nobody has the worst luck with elbows. Nobody. Ortega had this nasty spinning elbow that he landed flush, and Zombie was kind of like, he was like on skates for a second,
and knocked him
he was
down,
surprised. Yeah, he dropped him.
Yeah, like I was like, if Korean Zombie gets finished by another spinning back elbow like that, that will be just the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's one thing to get finished by Yair with one of those, because that's kind of what he does. All due respect, if Brian Ortega finishes you with a spinning back elbow, that is fucked.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. He was out for some time though, like 18 months. Brian just getting to his prime, so I was happy to see him show all his improvements. Yeah, dude. Not only that, he changed his entire team. Like, he moved on, shaved his head, started all over.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's have a discussion about that right quick. Yeah. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say here that I don't think there's any such thing as ring rust. I don't. Cage rust, whatever. I think it's very indicative of how you spent that time.
Yeah.
If you're healed properly going back into the fight and where your mind's at. Don't get me wrong. I know there's something to be said about the timing difference between sparring and a real life fight. There's no way to really simulate real war without getting in there.
Right.
But just short of that, look at Brian Ortega. He's a prime example. Like 18 months out of the cage, coming off the first loss of his career, a brutal loss where he got outstruck, blase. And what's he do? He comes back looking better than ever, striking his fucking tits off.
Right.
So, if you're working on it, I don't necessarily, especially if you're younger. Now, if you're older, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? If you're like Anderson Silva, taking a couple years off ain't gonna help him none. It's gonna work against him. But if you're fucking in your fucking mid-20s, early 30s, even, because I think that's where Brian Ortega's at, right? Like 31, 30 or something like that. Yeah, late 20s even. I think you can kind of swing that, man. And I mean, like, clearly he got better. And it wasn't a flash knockout. He went 25 fucking minutes. I mean, there's no way to fucking cut it other than Brian Ortega got better in the time that he was gone. Period.
He got better. Not only that, he took what everyone thought was his weakness, which was his striking game. Like, he was a solid striker, but he wasn't anything like he showed. He not only did he improve on his striking, he added weapons, and many. I mean, the 8 limbs. He straight up went Muay Thai. The spinning elbows, the funky angle elbows. The timing was there, the movement, the angles. Zombie looked like, in between rounds, Zombie in his corner, we're all looking like, who are we fighting right here? This is not the same guy. And it wasn't. So you got to give it to him. All right. Otis says, who's your loser of the weekend and how's it not? John, non-existent ground game Phillips. That dude needs to go. Yeah, but he needs to go off over to like bare knuckle fight. That's where that guy belongs.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I'll give him this. I had because I do the topology with MMA gods and everyone from the Keyboard Warriors group. I had Park winning by submission in the first round, right? John Phillips survived, fair enough, but dude couldn't do anything to keep himself off the ground. Got taken down 4 times, clean and eat. To be honest, it was easy, super easy to get taken down. You can see the striking right here on the numbers, striking difference. Park landed 260 total strikes, and then Phillips landed 13. Phillips is a straight up bare knuckle boxing guy. He's not at all an MMA guy.
And don't get me wrong, he's probably, if he does get another fight, that'll be his last straw. He ain't gonna be around for very long with a performance like that, Jack.
I'll be so surprised if he ends up getting another fight in the UFC anyway. Ortega missed with that massive cup. I think he took a dick shot right for the elbow. Dude,
what was up with that fucking cup being so big? Was that just like a big ass steel Muay Thai cup, or was his shorts too tight? I mean, don't give me the whole big hog thing. Bullshit. Like, I'm sure we've seen guys with bigger hogs competing in the fucking octagon than fucking Brian Ortega. That's the biggest cup I've ever seen on anybody.
And Mr. Hudo Boy trying to flex with that XXXL cup. Yeah.
I mean, listen, that's how. All due respect, that's usually another packing a little hog if they're fucking putting the big cup on. It's like a guy with a big truck.
Otis says Park set a new record. What record was it? It was the strikes record.
Yeah, let me ask you. This has nothing to do with nothing, but let me ask you. Just because I think this is an interesting question. I put it on Twitter, but of course nobody fucks with my Twitter like that. You fucking cocksuckers. Like he said he set a record.
Right.
It just made me think. So what? You put me in there with CM Punk. I'll set a record too. You better be lucky they never booked that. The question I asked on Twitter was, which is more impressive? DJ's armbar win over Ray Borg or Fabricio Verdum's triangle over Fedor? Ooh. Now, for me, it's Fabricio's triangle over Fedor. Now, it wasn't a very fancy move, but it was a submission win over a man who not only had never been submitted, but had never tasted defeat before.
Right.
He submitted that motherfucker. Who you're doing what to matters. And I guess it was coming off the heels of the discussion of the gentleman that had that crazy knockout last week. Mm-hmm. I forget his fucking name, but the crazy flip around knockout. It was like, that's a fantastic knockout, but and don't get me wrong, that knockout alone was a very exciting knockout. But if you're talking about like the greatest knockouts of all time, how does that stack up against Connor, Sleep, and Jose? Now, obviously, the flip around kick is more impressive. It's more impressive. But Connor starching Jose 5 years ago when he was still the king of the mountain in fucking 13 seconds, that is a better knockout, in my opinion. So it's like, I wonder, what's more impressive to you guys? Is it DJ flying around but doing that to somebody of Ray Borg's caliber, or Fabricio getting a simple triangle, but over somebody of fucking Fedor's caliber?
Let's see. Otis says triangle over Fedor. That was epic and still is.
I agree.
MMA gods for Verdun for me. Verdun was such an underdog too. He shocked the MMA world that day. Agreed.
Facts. I was fucking jaw open when that shit happened. I couldn't believe it.
Skill set matters. I agree. No, I remember watching that. I was like, he did not just do it to Fedor.
Right.
Oh my god. Like that was crazy. Or was it? And then of course Otis says, who's your winner of the weekend? How's it not Brian playing no games Ortega? Nobody won bigger. Nobody won bigger.
Let me tell you something right now. When I fucking was scrolling through Twitter and I seen Brian Ortega look like a serial killer, he shaved his fucking head. And I mean, when he shaved it, he didn't even go with a fade. That motherfucker took him. When he did that, I'm like, listen, the Korean zombie's done, son. As a man with long hair, let me tell you something. When you shave your mop, when you got hair like me and Brian, something serious is happening. And somebody's about to get that ass whipped. Like, Brian was not playing no fucking games when he shaved his head, Jack. That's when I knew the Korean zombie's funny ass was in trouble.
Yeah, that was wild because I mean that was a lot of hair that dude got knocked off there. That's a lot of work. You know what I mean? Right. That means something. I mean, if you shave your head and you came on the show, I'd be like, "You okay?
Yeah,
you all right?"
It's believe me. When I do, I'll shave it eventually. But when I do, it'll be on the heels of something big.
Yeah, Sean says Verdum all day long. I believe in Fred's argument. There you go. I'm telling you, I agree with you.
I agree with you. Yep.
All right, real quick. MMA guy says I'm stoked for Alex and Brian fighting next for the belt. That's a solid fight. I'm not sure who to pick yet, but man, that's a good fight.
I was going to say we needed to discuss that a little bit before we move off this topic. Yeah. Now that Brian Ortega is definitely getting the title shot, he's fighting Volkanovski. I'm gonna tell you something right now, goddammit. I thought Volkanovski lost both of the max fights. Y'all keep sucking my dick forever. I thought he lost. He definitely lost that second fight for sure. Y'all definitely kissed my ass. But I thought he lost the first one. In my opinion, you got to beat the champ to be the champ. Now, I know my opinion don't mean shit. That's why Volkanovski's wearing the belt. But for Daddy Fred, when you've been the fucking featherweight champ, as long as Max had been, you got to take that belt. Motherfucking bullshit. If there's 100 people in the room and 50 think Max won, he keeps his belt. That's neither here nor there. I've never been completely sold on Volkanovski. Sorry. I know he's great. Look, long story short, I'm picking Brian Ortega.
There you go.
And I'm going to ride with the submission. I don't think he's going to outstrike him. I think this time he does pull off the submission. I just think that, and probably it's just me being biased, I have a thing for people who are very dangerous submission artists.
Yeah.
Be it Frank Mir, Damian Maia. There's just something about it. When a motherfucker has got an extremely dangerous ground game like that, I find it extremely intriguing. Like, if Brian Ortega gets you on the ground, the fight gets very, very interesting immediately, because now you know, if this dude makes one wrong move, this fight's over. And there's not many fighters who have that sort of excitement that comes with them hitting the ground. The moment the fight hits the ground, if Damian Maia gets on top of you on the ground, put your fucking popcorn down, because something's about to get real quick. And Brian Ortega, if Brian Ortega gets full mount on you, this fight's probably about to be over. I don't give a fuck who you are. The fight's probably about to be over.
That's the thing about and maybe because I am a jiu-jitsu guy, but to me, like jiu-jitsu specialists, to me, have like an assassin like type of way to them, especially now that Ortega shaved his head. It's almost like, look, man, it's cool. We can strike all day. You make one wrong move, go to the ground with me. All I need you to do is put your arm in the wrong place, put your leg in the wrong place, and I'm taking them with me. I'm taking them home. You know what I mean? To me, it's like a jiu-jitsu specialist. It's just like an assassin, just like that. And that's why I like guys like Ortega, like Nate or Nick, even like jiu-jitsu specialists in the female ranks, like Dern. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I give Dern a lot of shit for her funny accent, but I love any submission artist that the moment the fight hits the ground, like usually, I tell you what I find intriguing about it. Usually when a fight hits the ground, that's when we all start paying attention to other shit. I love when a guy or girl's in there and the fight hits the ground. You're like, okay, now is when we want to start paying attention, because this shit about to get interesting now. I love that.
No, my favorite, and we'll move on in a second, but my favorite is when it's a submission specialist versus a striking specialist, and the striking's been whooping ass for the first 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds, and then somehow the fight ends up on the ground. You're like, oh shit, here we go. Like, I love that.
Hands down, my favorite fights of all time are those. One of my favorite fights of all time is Minotauro and Bob Sapp. Yeah. And it's not because of the beauty or the elegance or because Luke Thomas is going to break down the X's and O's. It's because it was a goddamn dog fight that looked like Minotauro was getting killed. And at the last minute, he pulls off this armbar against this mountain of a man. It was just like, you want to see why BJJ is so effective? Watch this fight right here. Watch this fucking monster destroy this man for like fucking 5 minutes and then watch him end the fight like that. I wasn't even that privy to BJJ way back then when I saw that fight. And that was one of those fights that I saw. I was like, damn, wow. He was, I mean, Bob Sapp, he's a joke now. Again, for all you youngins, Bob Sapp might be the laughing stock now. There was a point in time where Bob Sapp was fucking terrifying in Japan. He's probably on every fucking steroid known to mankind. They didn't have weight divisions. Motherfuckers coming in like 310, over 300 pounds of all muscle. I mean, he was terrifying. And Minotauro fucking submitted him after taking a beating. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, it was great. And another one, just for you guys want a more recent, and it's not super recent, but a more recent example. Chael Sonnen against Anderson Silva. Sonnen went in there, roided it up to the gills, beat the living crap out of Anderson for that was a 3-round fight, right?
No, that was 4.5. You know where Anderson pulls the Hail Mary fucking. It was like, I think it was the last minute.
It was last minute
round.
Sonnen's throwing arms in there, and I remember that one. He left that one in there. Anderson grabs it. He can't get that right one in there fast enough. The triangle gets set in, and Sonnen taps. That is what jiu-jitsu does. Those are my favorite fights, just like you were saying. So
yeah, that I guess that's right up there too. That's one of those fights I'll never forget when Anderson submitted it. Hey, and to his credit, I know we're in the weeds now a little bit, guys, but boy, one of the greatest Chael Sonnen sound bites or post-fight press conference ever afterwards. Chael Sonnen, with a straight look on his face, said, "Well, I didn't know the rules. I thought I won 4 rounds. I thought I still won the fight. I thought I lost that round. I had no idea that's how they did it. I'd never been in a 5-round fight before. You understand me? So like, I thought that I won. I thought the fight was over. So I thought with
his straight face. Hey,
everybody on the day is rolling. I think like
Dom and Uriah Faber are sitting right there, and then Chael looks back.
Yeah,
looks back at me. Hey, you guys should remember that. God, Chael Sonnen is the best. Honestly, legend. I don't care anybody else. He is the best at that.
Legend.
Seriously. All right. Some more comments here. Before we talk about UFC 254 this weekend. We're talking about what's his name? Holloway and Volkanovski. He definitely lost the second fight. I think Volk will take out Ortega, though. We'll see. Definitely the second fight. Max won that 3-2, in my opinion. There you go. Durden is phenomenal. Agreed. Brian's got the it factor versus Volk with that solid all-around MMA skill set, a.k.a. point fighter. What's up, guys? How about Moraes? Quick turnaround. Moraes got Rob Font December 19th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good fight.
Yeah,
Rob Font's a real fucking contender. Let's go.
I like that. It's a fight where Moraes should win and get back on the horse,
but Rob could get it.
It's an awesome opportunity for Rob Font, and Rob Font deserves that opportunity.
Hell yeah,
he's a bad little dude. That's a great fight, man. That's really really cool. Good fight. Good matchmaking. Fucking Sean Shelby and the other prick Mick.
Yeah. Frank Edgar wants Sandhagen now too. 135 moving quick. I love it. Right. And Drew's all about it.
Yeah, I guess. I had somebody floated the TJ. I think Sandhagen floated the TJ thing. I like him and TJ more. I love Frankie, but at this point in the game, Frankie's just a bit long in the tooth. Like, I don't know.
Frankie's a loss away from us being like, okay, Frankie, we're done.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Really?
Like, we could do him and Sandhagen, but I feel like we do that fight, more than likely Sandhagen gets the TKO. I just feel like it's even like with Anderson Silva and Uriah Hall. I guess Uriah Hall is a bit long in the tooth and he's not quite a title contender, but it's like, I don't know, at this point, if Uriah Hall knocks out Anderson Silva, so what? What's it mean? It doesn't mean anything really. Like, it's Anderson's so old and past this in his career, it's weird.
Kevin Lever's tattoo parlor. What happened?
You see that? He's fucking got I don't know if he actually got it, but a video posted up, or somebody posted a video with him. When you get a tattoo, they like color it in.
Yeah. The
whole back of his head was like a machine. Like you get plugged in or something. Like he had the shit running onto his neck. I think it looked like a cyborg sort of deal. Because he got his head shaved. So it's he got like the whole half the back of his head like on some Vanderlei shit. But it was like, I think it was just a drawing, but I'm pretty sure it looked like a machine, a cyborg sort of deal. Like you could plug in. It had like a plug in the back of his head.
For some reason, nobody has a freaking picture. They just all videos. I'll see if I can find one. All right. This one just popped up. Real quick. Mike Perry.
Oh,
his girlfriend comes out, or ex-wife. Go ahead.
What happened? What happened? Right. I from all the tweets, I get the gist of what happened, but I still don't know exactly what happened yet.
So, because I read the article like 2 times, so okay, I gotta hand it to MMAclickbait.com, aka MMA Junkie. Actually, clickbait's fighting for me, but anyway, Junkie came out with the fucking with the article, right? And it was like back and forth and back. It was a hard read, honestly. Whoever wrote it in a hurry. But regardless, his wife came out and said that she basically was dealing with abuse from him, right? She, talked about a few times where he got really drunk. And it all stems from the loss to, oh man, it slips my mind. Who did he lose to? That was like fucking, Jeff Neal. He lost to Jeff Neal, and they started drinking heavily. And then she talked about one time where he like took her down, he like tackled her on the ground and like ground and pounded her, and so he cracked her rib. And like it happened, there was a few instances of domestic violence, right? And then throughout the whole article, she said, I have photos of my injuries, but I don't want to put them out there because I don't want to get, I don't want to hurt them. I just want to, spread awareness that this is happening to people. I want to put my story out there. A lot of people.
I remember that.
Yeah. A lot of people, because she teased it. She teased like I'm down for. I'm ready to do interviews. I'm ready to go on. And she fucking tagged Joe Rogan, who was like, nah, I'm good on that. But
has something happened since then though? Because that was a while back, right?
That was a while back. She's just not coming out with it. So a lot of people
bring it back up.
Right. No, like now she's actually like that. The reason it came up is because Junkie wrote about it.
Oh, really? So wait a minute though. Mike Perry didn't do nothing else here recently, though. There's no recent incident that happened. I thought like he beat her again or something because she's pregnant now, right?
Okay, so no, this is a different girl. Remember the platinum?
Ripping, then I don't know.
So
like, okay, wait a minute. Is this the hoe that was with him when he socked the old man?
Platinum? No, this is a different. No, that's the one that he's with. He's with now, the Tori, whatever. Like his pregnant girlfriend. He's with now. No, this is the Platinum Princess girl.
So the girl that's talking the shit is a girl from before.
The ex-wife.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a wild, and it was definitely physical. I mean, I wish I could pull up. I don't really care to pull up the article because I'm not going to read it on here. But
I guess I'm just a little lost because I thought we did this already. From all the outrage I was seeing, I thought like he did something again. Again, chill out. I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I just thought we already went through this. What's happening now? Is it? Did she do anything? Did she come out with the details of the story? I just don't. I thought he did something again. I thought he beat her again from the way everybody was tripping. I didn't know we were talking about the same thing that from like last year or some shit. She's just
not coming out with the basically the details, right? And then so anyway, whoever wrote the article first, I'm assuming it's MMA Junkie, reached out to Mike Perry. And to get comment from him, he probably said no comment. But this is what made everyone kind of like look over and be like, all right, what the fuck's going on? He put out a statement. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Here it is. All right, I'll put up his little statement just real quick. We're not gonna spend too much time on this. Here it is. Okay. Mike Perry is on Mike Perry's Twitter, which it's clear that he didn't write this. But anyway, it says, it's coming to my attention that a media organization will be running a story in reference to a past issue with my ex-wife. I would like to address this here and now. First and foremost, I did not put my hands on my ex at any point in our short-term marriage. In the story, in the details she put out, it's totally physical, completely physical. He like beat her down, broke her ribs, everything. Anyway, secondly, I have already admitted to having an issue with alcohol, and I have been a part of an intensive rehab program that was able to help address not only that, but also help me with anger management. After the completion of the course, I have realized that I have said some things in the past that do not put me and what I stand for in the best of light, and for that I apologize. I am now in a loving relationship where I am looking forward and excited to welcoming my firstborn. I'm hopeful my ex can move on and find peace as I have. And that's the end of the statement. So he knew it was coming out. They more than likely reached out and got and asked him for a comment. He said no comment, so that's what he said. So I swear she said before it was just verbal abuse. I could be wrong, not trying to downplay it. Right. And she said a lot of things because even you're saying like we're doing this again. Right. The first time around, she didn't give many details about the actual physical abuse. Now she's giving details of physical abuse. So now here's why I bring this up. What do we do about it?
Well, right. Like what's the plan now? I mean, I don't. She should have just charged him with it.
At this point,
I don't. I mean, look. Is Mike Perry obviously a loose cannon and a bit of a like? Does he got his issues? Clearly, you could watch that video from where he's spazzing out and fucking knocks the old man out, and he's motherfucker. He scared me, Jack, on Twitter. Back the fuck up. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Mike Perry is why Smith and Wesson made a pistol. Like Mike Perry gets shot right in his belly, fucking with Daddy Fred. Back up, bang, motherfucker. Like, chill out, relax yourself. I'll shoot you right in the pinky toe, like old broad on Harlem Nights shot Eddie Murphy. Or Eddie Murphy shot that fat girl with the pinky toe on Harlem Nights. That's you getting shot right in your you better calm down, stop screaming. I'm shooting you right in the foot. Sit your big ass down and chill the fuck out. You got way too much testosterone pumping through your blood, a little bit too much vodka. You need to fucking relax, big boy. Like clearly the motherfucker's got an anger issue.
Yeah.
I just thought that he did something again. I just feel like at this point, like I said my piece on this a long time ago. If you are a fucking man, especially an alpha male or a fighter, if you a big dude or you a fighter, you're trained in martial arts and you're hitting or beating a woman, you're a fucking piece of shit. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. Like, I think we've all had our issues with women. I ain't never hit or smacked or beat no fucking woman. Like, I ain't even that big of a guy. But most of the women that I've been around, like, I feel like if I hit you or slap, if I really want to lay into you, I fucking kill you. Like, and I'm a bit of a fucking stoner shitbird. Like, if you was a fucking fight, if you're Mike Perry, bro, and you're hitting a woman, you're out of your fucking mind, bro. You're way too big and strong to be fucking hitting a woman in any way, shape, or form.
Right. No.
That being said, I'm also not in the business of keep hitting the motherfucker. Like I said this the first go around. It stands, you know. I didn't know, like I said, I thought he had done something again. Whatever I said back then, same energy, bro. Like it is what it is. Like I feel like she probably should have just called the law on that motherfucker. If he beat her up, like he should have went to jail for that shit. Period. Fuck sports, fuck entertainment, fuck the fights. If you double legged your woman and fucking broke her ribs, bro, you need to be put the fuck away somewhere.
Right. And I at this point, it's like, well, what do we do? You know what I mean? And she keeps saying that she doesn't want to ruin his life. She doesn't want to hurt him. But either way, I mean, nothing's going to come of it. So here we go. MMA guy just sent me the video of Kevin Lee's tattoo.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay, so he's drawing it on.
Yeah.
Is that a brick wall?
I don't know.
Oh shit!
You see, it looked like a cyborg thing, right? Like a screw or some shit, like a plug-in.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what it looks like. It's a little crazy, but I mean,
it's super crazy. But I mean, for a fighter,
yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, this motherfucker isn't a Parcheesi player, so
yeah. Like I get it. He's trying to put an image ahead and all that stuff. But okay, fair enough. That's the thing. I think there's two police reports she made, but both weren't physical. Right, but fuck him if he did. Agreed. Again.
Right. That's so like, yeah, don't get it twisted. Nobody, again, also keep in mind too, for everybody out there that hates how often we curse or how much shit we talk, this is the show where we say fuck and we say hyperbolic things. But make no mistake about it, nobody's fucking endorsing beating women. That's some whole ass shit. Again, especially if you are alpha male, if you're if you're a fighter or something like that, and you're beating a woman, you are a piece of shit, bro. Like, get it out in the gym. I mean, bro, you fight for a living. If you got some anger in you get to get it out. Don't put your fucking hands on your woman, man. That's just ridiculous.
Agreed. All right, let's talk about the fights this weekend, man. Big, huge, massive card. At least as far as the main event, it's a huge fight, but there's a lot of good fights on here. UFC 254 is an early ass card, ladies and gentlemen. Not only will you get to watch an entire pay-per-view, but you will be done and you'll be able to go out with your boys or do grill, whatever you want to do. You have the rest of your Saturday. It's honestly one of my favorite things to get an early card. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. So, all right, first fight of the night. It says an 8 a.m. Pacific, PST, whatever, Pacific Standard Time.
Well, 11 for me on the East Coast, right?
Yep, 11 o'clock your time.
Fucking perfect.
Right? So I'm going to have breakfast with this one. Joe Alvarez against Alexander Yakovlev. Yeah, there you go. Then Liana Jojua, who we've seen before, taking on Miranda Maverick, who is coming in. I think she's her UFC debut, I think.
I'm pretty sure that holds a school teacher.
Yeah. And she, I think it's her debut.
It is.
I'm pretty sure she's the favorite too. So, all right. Then the ESPN2 prelims, 9 a.m. my time, that's noon your time. Yeah. Kicking off with Jung Da-un taking on Sam Alvey, who is and Sam Alvey's not the favorite. So yeah. Alex Oliveira taking on Shavkat Rakhmonov, which from all accounts is going to be a solid fight. Nathaniel Wood taking on Casey Kenny. And in the main event, Stephen Struve's going to come in and see if we'll see if he's able to use his range for once, taking on Tai Tuivasa, who was cut and then re-signed to take this fight. So,
it's crazy to think that Stephen Struve has a knockout win or TKO win over Stipe, the current champion.
Yeah, he brings that up in his interviews. So
I would too.
Yeah, why not? All right. On pay-per-view, main event, 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Kicking off with Magomed Ankalaev taking on Ion Cutelaba. This is going to be a good one.
For fuck's sakes, if these two pricks don't actually fight this time, I'm going to lose my mind.
They better fight this time. So.
Jesus Christ. Like the third time this fight's been booked, right?
Seriously. They got to make it this time. Struve's still around. What in the world? Right. Right. That's what I was thinking too. All right. Then the ladies throw down. Laura Murphy. What's her name? Calvillo. Calvillo. Tested positive for COVID. She's out. Now we got Shakarova in here and there's a late replacement. Then Jacob Malkoun taking on Phil Hawes. All right. Then the fight everyone's looking forward to, especially I think was it Otis that said it? Not Otis. It was
who? Just hold on. Wait, just 1 second. Who the fuck are they? Why are they so high up on such a big card? Did I miss something? Dude's 4-0. Who the fuck is Jacob McCollum?
So I'm pretty sure Phil Hawes was on Dana White's contender series.
Okay.
And he had like a really, I think he had some kind of highlight.
Good performance. Okay. Makes sense. I was wondering, I'm like, these motherfuckers got to be somebody from somewhere. Why the fuck are they so high on this card?
Yeah, and he knocked the shit out of Kadzi Besteyev. I think it wasn't the Dana White contender series, but he had highlights, so they throw him in here. Hope for another one.
Phil Hawes is the dude that they kind of highlight and trying to.
Right. All right. Then heavyweights, Alexander Volkov taking on Walt Harris. Walt Harris coming off that loss to Alistair Overeem, and now he's back taking on a freaking giant, tall dude. Not by much, by 2 inches taller than him, but still. Solid fight in here. All right, first.
That sucks. That sucks for Walt Harris a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Because I think we all wanted to see Walt Harris get the win in that Overeem fight, coming off his stepdaughter being murdered like that. And of course, bitch ass Overeem picks that fucking time to win, for fuck's sake. And then Alexander Volkov, I mean, all love to fucking Walt Harris, but boy, he's got an uphill battle in this fight. I mean, Volkov is pretty much better than Walt Harris everywhere. I guess they're heavyweights, so Walt could thunder strike him, and that could be the end of it. like
Black Beast.
Like Derek Lewis did in the third round there. Right. But like more than likely, it seems like this is Volkov's fight to win, and I hate to see Walt Harris lose 2 fights in a row like this. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, and I'm picking Walt Harris just off of just hoping he wins it, just for fuck's sake, Jesus Christ.
Same.
All right. First big fight. This could be a title contender, or whatever, title eliminator.
It is. I think that's safe to say.
I'd agree. Robert Whittaker taking on Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier used to weigh 245 pounds. That guy, I don't know if you looked him up before, but I watched one of his heavyweight fights on YouTube, and I can't believe how big he was. And now he's fighting at 185, taking on Robert Whittaker, former champion. This is a fight that I think Izzy himself has said, if Cannonier wins impressively or just finishes, I'm assuming, Whittaker, he's up next. And I would agree with that. What do you think of this fight?
I think if either one of them wins impressively,
it's got to be
they're up next. Yeah, I think matter of fact, like the only way that whoever wins this fight isn't up next is if it's just a shit fest,
boring as shit.
If it's a boring shit fight, and at the end of the fight there'll be no crowd. But if there was a crowd, they'd all be booing, that sort of deal. Then maybe they go in a different direction. But right. I don't see that happening. More than likely, whoever wins this fight gets the next title shot. I think it's safe to assume we're all silently cheering and rooting for Jared Cannonier just because it's the new fight, it's the fresh fight, it's the interesting fight. Obviously, Robert Whittaker fans would tell me to go fuck myself, but like, I think I personally am rooting for Jared Cannonier just because I want to see that new matchup. I still think Izzy probably disposes of Jared relatively easily, but this is how legends are born. So,
yeah, no, And Sean Tracy's saying what everyone thinks. Cannonier wins this fight, and I think he does, and I hope he does because I want some see him in there. But Robert Whittaker, everyone forgets about Robert Whittaker, dude. Robert Whittaker's still that dude. Like sure he's he took a couple losses here, but he's still that dude.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man. Robert Whittaker, and not necessarily the same, obviously way more high caliber fighter, but he's definitely got the Nil Magny vibe for me. I always think Robert Whittaker's going to lose. And he always seems to be outmatched, but he still somehow wins. Right. I thought he was going to lose both the Yoel fights. You could maybe make an argument that he did lose the second one, I think, again. Nonetheless, he won both those fights. They went 10 rounds. Yoel's a fucking absolute hammer who I thought would eventually catch Robert Whittaker. And I'll be a son of a bitch if he just didn't. Yeah. I mean, there was a few fights like that with Robert Whittaker where I just thought, fuck, man, this guy got, he got snuffed out at 170 by Wonder Boy. Now I realize Wonder Boy's an animal, but like nonetheless, I'm like, yo, he's just not going. And he just kept on winning. I'm like, son of a bitch. So Izzy's Izzy, but yeah, like I like Jared Cannonier in this fight, but boy, Robert Whittaker is not one of those guys. I'm not confident. I'm not like, yeah, he go like Robert Whittaker makes me nervous. As a guy who's not really a Robert Whittaker fan per se, I'd be nervous. I thought for sure, I thought Izzy was a horrible matchup for Robert because of the loss to Stephen Thompson. Right. I was super confident in that fight, but the whole time I was biting my nails because Robert Whittaker is just one of those guys that makes me nervous. Like even rooting against him, he's the guy that is super tough, super gritty. He's got that shit you can't teach, and that's what makes real fighters. Like all you need to do is give Robert Whittaker a little bit of skill. Because he's got so much heart and tenacity that, like, if you put a little bit of water on that flour, he's a fucking mean dog in there, and that's what you got. Like, I still think that Robert Whittaker's not extremely talented. I think that's why Izzy kind of mowed through him. I don't think he's got the greatest strike. I mean, he beat the piss out of me nonetheless. But I think he wins his fight because he's such a fucking dog.
Right.
Like the Yoel Romero fight, I think he won those fights because he just was not going to give up, and he just stayed on Romero. Jared Cannonier might have a problem with that. Like we know Jared's got the power and shit, but if he don't get the knockout early, Robert Whittaker's fucking tenacity and aggression might end up fucking wearing down on him.
I'm with you on that. Wait, isn't the fight at Etihad Stadium? What are you talking about?
Not this one. This one's a motherfucking Fight Island, baby.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi, Yas Island. Dana said he wouldn't be mad if Rob won. The Australia-New Zealand rivalry made him a shit ton of money, but I want Jared. I agree.
Yeah, and also just to be fair, like not to shit on Robert, but even if he wins this fight, I just don't. Robert, Izzy's his kryptonite. Yeah. Like styles make fights. I don't give a fuck if Robert Whittaker goes out there and fucking hazmats Jared Cannonier, knocks him out with one punch. Right. I still don't think he's got nothing for Izzy. Like, I don't give a fuck what Robert Whittaker does in this fight. It ain't going to make me think he can beat Izzy. It's just styles make fights, man. Izzy's way too clean of a striker for Robert Whittaker, and he doesn't have the tools to push him in another area. My opinion.
We've seen that fight, dude. We've seen that fight. We're done.
Yeah,
I'm done. I don't know
what it is. Like, I don't think it goes any more differently than that. To be fair,
no. Jared Cannonier brings a different set of problems for Izzy, and I want to see how he handles it. So,
absolutely, same.
All right. So that'll be your main, your co-main event. Jesus Christ! All right, main event of the evening, a fight we've all been waiting for a long, long time. It's such a big fight. We have a backup in case one of them don't make it. Which, of course, today's Wednesday. We have two. We have tomorrow and then Friday's weigh-ins, which would be like I think super early on Friday for everybody else or for us. Khabib Nurmagomedov defending against Justin Gaethje, the interim champ. This is a fight where a lot of people. Most fights before with Khabib, even the Conor fight, everyone was like, that's it. Khabib's going to maul him. Even the Conor fight, everyone was like, well, Conor could catch him. Sure, he could. So could have any of the other 26 or 25 guys that fought him before, right?
Right.
But this is a fight where it's like, dude, if this fight goes to the ground, fair enough. But Justin Gaethje is a wrestler too. And he's got the hands to deal with Khabib. This is a hard one to pick. A lot of people are having a hard time. I'm having a hard time picking it. I'm leaning Khabib, obviously, but how do you feel about Gaethje's chances in this one?
All right, so here's the deal, right? Obviously, I don't fuck with Khabib because I'm a Conor stan. So me and Khabib got our problems. But we're going to put that to the side for now until we can get the rematch lined up, and then me and Khabib will be going back to being mortal enemies. Look. Let me start by saying you got to throw this caveat out there so I don't look like a fucking dick. We all know Justin Gaethje could sleep him. All right, let's state the obvious. Khabib's never been cut. He's never been knocked down. Hell, quite frankly, y'all kissed my ass with that Michael Johnson punch, the Dustin Poirier punch. In my opinion, Khabib's never been rocked.
Right.
Like, I know Michael Johnson kind of grazed him, and I know Dustin Poirier actually hit him. But let me tell you something, Jack. I've watched a lot of fights. I've seen motherfuckers on ice skates, rocked, doing the fucking wobble, Pat Barry, Czech Congo.
Yeah.
I've seen it all, Jack. Habib ain't never been rocked in no fight. He ain't never been put on his ass. He ain't never been sat down. Like, he's never been really punched hard in a fight. And look, maybe it don't matter. I would bet I would kind of lean towards the fact that if he gets cut, it's just going to piss him off. It seems like the motherfucker's an animal. But to be fair, we don't know that. And Justin has that oh so fucking great gift, fight stopping absolute power. Like, he can catch you a one shot and put you straight the fuck to sleep. So let's go ahead and throw that out there. Now, to the point that everybody's making about Justin Gaethje being a wrestler and having this great defensive wrestling, I don't buy it. Now, I know he has the credentials. I know he's a great wrestler. I don't think it's going to matter. I think what Khabib does in the grappling department, Justin's not going to have an answer for. I think it's fun to psych it up and to psych ourselves up, but I think when the motherfucking rubber hits the road and Khabib pushes him against that fence, I think Justin falls prey to the same exact thing that everybody else did. Somebody asked a question during the press conference. They asked Khabib, what's the difference between Dagestani sort of wrestling and American wrestling? And Khabib's answer was that he was talking to DC earlier that day, and he said, DC, when you fought Stipe this last time, you go for one takedown. He get up easy. No takedown no more. You box. When I go for takedown, I no give shit if he get up. He go right back down. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep taking you down. You get up, cool beans, you're going right back down. And then again and again and again. And if you can't stop me, I'm not going to stop. So what if I take you down and you get right back up? Cool beans. Do that again. And then do it again and again. And then in the fourth round, do it again and again. You're not going to keep getting up. Although I am going to keep putting you down.
Right.
For me, that's when it became clear. It's like, yo, Khabib gonna do what Khabib does. Again, if Justin clips him in that first round, all bets are off. But if that does not happen, I don't think that Justin has the defensive wrestling firepower to deal with Khabib. I think we're kind of painting that narrative, but and again, I very well could be fucking wrong. That's the beauty about predicting fights. None of us got a fucking clue what we're talking about. Right. But for me, I feel like a lot of people are good wrestlers. Michael Johnson's a hell of a wrestler. Gleison Tebow. I mean, Khabib has fought a lot of people that were very good fucking RDA. I mean, competent wrestlers and grapplers, yet he still does what he does every time. I don't necessarily think that Gaethje's that much better of a grappler than all those guys, than Gleison Tebow, than RDA, than all the dudes that Khabib has done this to. Michael Johnson. I mean, you're talking about some really strong, even what's the fucking crazy little prick that Abel Trujillo?
Yeah.
Again, not exactly the greatest grappler, but a strong man, a very strong dude. And Khabib just kept him on the ground, controlled him the whole time. So unless Justin clips him early, I have a hard time seeing that not being the case with this fight, man. Khabib's probably going to do what Khabib does. I'll put you like this. Y'all keep this in mind. If Justin starts throwing him off and makes Khabib fight at distance and Khabib just can't do nothing with him, know that wherever my funny ass is, I'm surprised as fuck. I'll be shocked if he can't do it and Justin starts lighting him up on the feet, which will be inevitable at that point. I will be holy shit shocked because I just feel like Khabib going to Khabib, man.
And I know because I looked it up a little while ago. Justin has like an 80% takedown defense in his career and whatnot. That's great, but again, this is a different type of wrestler, different type of guy. Just like Khabib said, he's a chain guy. He's not a one takedown. Oh, you got up, we'll box. No, he'll be like, okay, you got up, cool. Taking that again and again. And the second I get you with your legs and your back flat, I'm wrapping my legs around yours and you're getting beat up and I'm talking to you till it's over. Like, that's just what it is with Khabib. We know what he brings. With Gaethje, the question mark is, can he use that striking accurately and early before he gets taken down to hurt Khabib? Hurts Khabib, we're in business. Doesn't hurt Khabib, he's gonna get taken down, or he's gonna get pinned to the cage and beat up, and then get taken down. It's gonna be. It's. I just have I don't know. That's the intriguing part of this fight. Can Gaethje land the strikes early?
And quite frankly, pretty much every Khabib fight we have, unless they do the George St. Pierre fight, which fucking gagged me with a fork, but pretty much any fight that Khabib has going forward, this will be the narrative. If you can hit him and hurt him early, you can change the whole trick. Look, everybody fucking makes fun of Conor McGregor and talks so much shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I still think that Conor can beat Khabib. Don't get me wrong. If they fought, obviously Khabib would rightfully be the big favorite, as he should. But again, if you can clip Khabib early, and Justin has that ability, Conor has that ability. Hell, Dustin Poirier had that ability. Just because it didn't happen doesn't. Again, yo, listen to me. If Ben Askren fought Jorge Masvidal 3 weeks from now, there's a good chance that fight don't look the same. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Khabib would probably do the same thing because his fighting style is very effective and it's very fucking, you can count on that shit, Jack. But you could get clipped. Look, Justin Gaethje might do that shit. Usually Khabib doesn't lazily shoot in for the shot like that, but Justin could shoot across the cage, throw a flying knee, and sleep Khabib. And look, we would all make Justin out to be the god of all gods, but it really wouldn't be all that. It would just be, that's the way fighting goes, man.
Right.
That's why what Khabib has is so impressive, because it only takes one split second for everything to go wrong. I mean, look at Ben Askren. Motherfucker, one good knee basically landed that whole, ruined his career. He was going into a title shot after that. He ate that knee and lost the fight to Damian Maia and said, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah, there you go. What was I gonna say about this fight? Fuck in hell. So I was looking up who's gonna be in Khabib's corner, and I can't.
Well, there you go.
Find it.
I'll fucking run my mouth about that for a minute. We also got his father passing away. That's another big fucking question mark on this fight.
Which way is that gonna push him?
And it's gonna push him one way, right? We already know. Either A, it's going to turn him into a fucking invincible monster that's just going to, he's going to fucking steamroll through Justin Gaethje, and Justin didn't have a snowball chance of hell, or his mind's going to be somewhere else and Justin Gaethje's going to knock him the fuck out because he's not going to be where he should be. Because I will say this, I favor Khabib greatly, but again, Justin has that great equalizer, man, that fight-ending power that if you fuck around in there, he'll sleep you.
Agreed. All right, so there's nowhere online who's his corner is going to be, but it doesn't really matter. Sean says Khabib. This is Gaethje by knockout second round. That'd be interesting. Because that would mean Gaethje survived takedown after takedown after takedown. So that's good.
You know what's crazy about this too? Hypothetical. Just one second.
Go ahead.
Now it didn't go exactly as planned because Justin Gaethje beat Tony.
Yeah.
But if y'all motherfuckers been watching Daddy Fred long enough, y'all heard me say this. I said before, Conor would beat Khabib in a rematch, except Conor would be the champion. Right. Now, if Justin does beat Khabib, hypothetically, and Conor does beat Dustin, that fight happens, hypothetically. I do think Conor McGregor would knock Justin Gaethje out. Really? Hypothetically. I do think that. Yeah, absolutely. I do. Okay. I do. My styles make fights.
Right.
Justin would come out and he would want to box with Conor, and I don't think he's crisp enough. I think he eats too many. You can't eat shots with Conor in the first round. How he beat him, that's how you beat him. Or you beat Nate Diaz, and you just, listen, you hit Nate with a fucking baseball bat, and it is what it is. Yeah. Justin can get put on ice skates. I don't think that's good. I thought that it would be Tony, and I thought that Tony was too hittable for Conor, but I think Justin falls right in that same bracket. I do think that Khabib would win whoever the next fight was, even if he gets like a flash knockout. Whoever Khabib fights next, he's probably going to beat. So,
for sure.
We're still on.
Yeah, we'll see, man. What if Khabib trips on a wire and Chandler starts with Justin? Nah, Khabib be a mauling. There you go. It'd be cool if Justin KOs Khabib, though. It'd be nice to see something different, I guess.
Yeah.
But we haven't really ever seen Justin's elite wrestling, and Justin's got Trevor Whitman, and Khabib is without his dad, too. I'm not sure what. Like you said, his dad passing is going to push him one way or another. Now, everyone asks him the same goddamn question. How does it feel your dad's gone? What the fuck do you think? How do you think that feels, man? Like, goddamn. Right. But it's going to push him one way or the other. Now, here's one thing that Khabib has said, and I'll take this off the screen real quick. He has said that The only fight he wants after this one, should he beat Gaethje, is GSP. Okay, which you and I don't want to see. I'm done with bringing GSP back every fucking 5 years.
Again,
Go ahead.
My problem with that fight is real talk. I've always got a hard on for GSP. I'm giving him shit, but all bullshit aside, my problem with that fight is George is too old. So, like, say they do that fight and Khabib smashes him. Everybody's just going to say George shouldn't have took the fight because he was way past his prime. Listen, boys and girls, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to Daddy Fred right now. George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva was a real super fight. Quite frankly, it was probably the super fight of all super fights. It never happened because George didn't want that smoke. I say this to make the point that those two gentlemen were in their primes at the same time.
Right.
Anderson Silva is more than likely going to get thunderstruck by Uriah Hall the next time he fights. To put that in perspective, Uriah Hall, what's the equivalent of Uriah Hall at lightweight right now?
Ooh, at lightweight?
Yeah. You know, who's Al Iaquinta.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be like that. Okay. So George St. Pierre is pretty much in that same bracket. I realize George hasn't taken the beatings that Anderson's taken, blase. George is old. Him and Khabib fighting, if we could, time warp George back to fucking after the second BJ Penn fight, then this fight would be amazing. Khabib is literally in the prime of his career and his life. What does a Khabib win over George tell us at this point? If you're one of these dicks that would be like, oh, well, that's crowning the real GOAT. It most certainly is not. George is well past the prime of his career. The last time we saw him was at middleweight, beating up Michael Bisping, who's fucking been retired since then, who's got one fucking eyeball in that fight. And before that, he was getting beat up by Johnny Hendricks, who is now in bare knuckle boxing. I mean, it sounds cute in theory, but the reality is that fight makes zero sense. Like, even if Khabib dominates George St. Pierre, it wouldn't be fair to George. And this is coming from a guy who hates George. But, like, that's not fair for George to come back and lose that fight. And he's not going to win it. Stop it. He's not going to. He shouldn't win it. What the fuck? He's not Superman. If y'all are right and the motherfucker's really not on steroids, he ain't got no business in the world beating Khabib at this point in the game.
Real quick, looks like it's Javier Mendez in Khabib's corner. He always is. And the teammate or two. Okay, there you go. I wonder, it'd be dope to see DC in there, but I think he's calling the fight, so it's not going to happen. Anyway, all right. My problem with GSP is that I'm done with GSP. Stop bringing this guy back from the dead. Every time a 55 fight or a 70 fight or an 85 fight happens, everybody wants to bring back GSP. What, you think it could be GSP? No one's going to say no, first of all. Second of all, it's like they're trying to create super fights with the UFC. Like, stop. Live in the now.
Like, let George fight. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I know George is so pristine, but I was going to say like Dan Hardy or Nick D. I think bringing George back to fight Khabib is just a little short-sighted. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really underestimating George, but it's like, bro, y'all got to remember, man, Khabib is in the prime of his career. George is fucking old and he ain't even fighting no more. Y'all out here tripping about Brian Ortega. Yeah. When was the last time George St. Pierre fought, dog?
Dude, bringing back GSP for anybody at this point
is a little like right?
What? Let it go. Now, look, the guy left in the prime of his career, came back, won a belt, dropped it, and just to troll us, basically. All right, and that's it. Leave it alone. All right, leave it alone.
Certainly don't bring that man back against probably the most dominant guy we've seen in a month of Sundays. Dude, I mean, what the fuck? Why would we again like that? What would that fight prove? And especially say we have the fight and then fucking Khabib beats the fuck out of GSP. Like, for why we need to do this again? Because George is pushing 40. Like, what? Fuck, for what reason, guys? This is stupid. Let George go be George, man. Fine, you did it, big guy. Like, I don't even like George, but like, cute cocksucker did it. Let's not bring him back and put him in there with the biggest, youngest, hungriest lion we got on the fucking roster, man.
And on top of all that, George has to make 55. Okay, so
no, I mean they were saying like 65, but even 65, then, like
even then, who cares?
Why for a murder date with Khabib that doesn't have to cut weight? Like why?
Right?
Why are we doing this? What's the point?
Exactly. The other guy I want to talk about with Khabib if he don't fight GSP is your boy. We talked about it already, but Conor McGregor. And here's why I bring it up very quickly, because it was a hilarious fucking soundbite. Good old Screaming A. Smith. ESPN just loves bringing on Screaming A to talk any kind of bullshit about MMA, because first of all, he has no idea, but they get a soundbite out of it, and they got one. Good. Did you see this whole video? So Screaming A. Smith asked Khabib about McGregor. He keeps asking him. I wonder if I can play it without getting kicked off. Let me see if it'll even let me.
Oh no, they might fuck us with fucking ESPN. They're pretty fucking.
No, this is from MMA Ape.
Okay, fair enough.
So I mean, he put it up. I'm just wondering if there's a way to put the sound on. Never mind. I don't think we can.
Yeah, Khabib's face says it all, though.
Yeah, but Khabib basically doesn't want to talk about it. He goes, I don't even want to talk about this shit. Fucking on live on ESPN.
Yeah.
And Screaming A with a goofy ass smile afterwards because he knows he got owned. It's just like, stop asking this man about it. But I'm with you. Could Conor win? Absolutely. Same game plan we're talking about Gaethje using. Hurt him early, hurt him often, finish him out. Coming off a 4-round beatdown that Conor took, I just have a hard time believing that will actually happen. You know what I mean? Like, I think Khabib just beats him out again. You know, they both get a payday. The UFC gets a payday, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, probably. And listen, here's the thing, right? For all of me, and look, I'm about to throw something out there that I actually think is a pretty good idea.
All right.
And quite frankly, it makes Khabib look a little funny in the light if he's just completely against it. Look, let's see what happens with Dustin and Conor. If Conor comes out and starts as Dustin, then maybe we'll revisit the conversation. And quite frankly, a rematch makes sense. I know Khabib said he wouldn't take it. Whatever. Let's see what happens. Khabib has to win and Conor has to win.
Yeah.
Let's say Khabib wins and he's talking all this shit. Look, how did BJ Penn and Conor McGregor really sort of cement their legacy?
Taking on anybody.
Anybody. But moving up a weight division and securing a belt. You want George St. Pierre so bad. Let me tell you something, Jack. George St. Pierre is old news. It's this other guy now called Kamaru Usman who's undefeated. Who's go take his belt. Go take it. Who wouldn't sound like, yo, if you sit up here and say that you want to see Khabib versus George St. Pierre, but say you have no interest in seeing Khabib versus Usman, you're a racist.
I am down with Khabib versus Usman.
But real talk. If Khabib dominates him, then fuck it, right? Like, go get the double belt. And then let me tell you something. If Khabib goes and does that to Usman, like, then we can exactly. For me, a win over Usman now means so much more than a win over GSP now. Like, GSP's old now. Usman's the new guy now. He's undefeated. He's fucking if Usman hypothetically they do the Gilbert Burns fight and he comes out and beats Gilbert Burns, Usman's on a fucking tear, dog. And he's a fucking beast. And stylistically, he matches up bad for you, Khabib. He's actually bigger than for the first time. You probably won't be able to do that to somebody. And
bigger, stronger.
If you do, we will all be like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck? Khabib went up 70 and fucking took the belt and did that. Like, who would have fucking I think that is the move for Khabib. If you're done with lightweight, then go take that belt at 70. And that'll give us all like, whoa, who the fuck saw that coming? What the fuck?
Yeah, and dude, I would be so down for Khabib Usman should that happen. I just hope that Khabib keeps fighting, but I just have a feeling there's a decent chance that now that his dad's gone, he's like, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Look, if he wants to do that, that's fine. But I will say this: if Khabib's last fight is Justin Gaethje, I'll be really sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like real talk, all bullshit aside, I'll be really sad because if that's his last fight, I can't give him BJ Penn's still the greatest lightweight of all time for all of me. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just like he's there. He has all the skill, but he needs a couple more defense. The truth is, if Conor does start Dustin Poirier, he needs to take the rematch and beat dude. And then he should move up to 70 and either fight or contender or say fuck it and go right for the belt. If he does those things, then it's cemented. Not only, in my opinion, if he did that, hypothetical situation, and I know he's only trying to get to 30-0, so this would take him to 31-0, hypothetically. Conor starts his dude, Khabib beats Justin. He defends the belt against Conor for a second time, beats Conor in the rematch, and then for his last fight ever, he moves up to 170 and beats Usman, who's still undefeated champion. If he does that, for all of me, that would put him above John Jones, even in my opinion. Now John's heading to heavyweight, so we'll see what happens. But to be completely fair, John does have the steroid accusations where Khabib doesn't. If Khabib did all that, it would be kind of hard to argue that he's not just the greatest fighter of all time.
Right.
Even moving up the last fight and getting that win against somebody like Usman, that would be, real talk. Even if he moved up and dominated a Colby or something like that, it would be
impressive.
pretty fucking impressive, buddy. Pretty fucking impressive.
All right. Let's get some comments here. Do a one-off combat BJJ with both of them pay-per-view. Talking about GSP and Khabib. I used to deal with a lot of guys, honestly.
I do that, but
GSP could go face Matt Brown or Condit. Do you want a dead body?
He would never. That would never happen. But I tell you what, real talk. Those are the fights that I'd rather see. I mean, I think that's more stylistically fucking fair, to be honest, at this point in the game.
Right. God says, how about Max Kellerman calling Dustin a ground guy when he was talking about Conor versus Dustin? Okay. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. No. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Raider in the house. Gaz is a fan of your take there. What up, Queen of the Pigs? Yeah, dude, Raider's been dominating the pigs. It's none of us have a shot. She's just killing it. It's crazy. Khabib beats Usman. He's the fucking GOAT. Agreed.
For sure.
Fred's beard is on point. There you go. Raider to be on top again this week. Would that be 3 weeks in a row? And she goes, yes, and it would be. So one of us has to do something about that. All right, make some picks. All right. What else is there to do hit on tonight before we get out of here?
Oh, Lomachenko.
Ooh, dude, what a
fight. Podcast, but yeah, a lot of people didn't like that fight. I thought it was a really good fight. I thought
it was a great fight.
It sucked that Lomachenko wasn't doing his fucking Matrix thing, but how you pronounce that motherfucker? Teofimo?
Teofimo, yeah, Teofimo Lopez, yeah.
Yeah, Teofimo Lopez. I ain't gonna front. I'm a boxing casual.
Yeah.
I'm a boxing casual. I didn't know who the fuck that dude was. I was the guy tuning in to watch Lomo do his thing, and I'll be a son of a bitch at the 24, right? If I'm not mistaken. 23. Holy shit. That motherfucker looked good, Jack. Now, I will say boxing is so terribly strategic that it felt like Lomachenko was, he didn't do fuck all for the first 2 or 3 rounds. That was the kind of the whole thing, right? He's downloading the process. Problem was he didn't come alive till like rounds 9, 10, or 11. And it was just way too little too late. And a homeboy, Teofimo, actually came back and won the 12th round too. So good fight, man. It's super impressive performance from a guy. I got to say, man, boxing has been all right, man. I've actually been really enjoying boxing lately.
Oh, dude, it's been actually haven't been that bad at all. No, I saw Teofimo in against Comey. I think that's the dude's name. Richard Comey knocked him out. Like last December, knocked out Richard Comey, got the IBF belt. So then he comes in with 2 belts. Lomachenko comes in with 2 belts, and we're throwing down, right? Now, the first few rounds, I was surprised because every round, I was watching it and I was following on Twitter at the same time, and it was kind of like everyone was like, oh, Lomachenko's going to turn on in a second. Oh, he didn't do it now? Okay. No, he's just downloading data. He's downloading data.
Yeah.
He has the Matrix shorts. He's just getting his timing down. He never got that data.
Yeah.
He came back at the end, near the end, he won some rounds because Lopez got tired.
Right.
He got tired. That's what happened. You saw it. We all saw it. He got tired. Lomachenko started landing on him. And at the very end, guts and glory, Lopez comes out and just throwing with him hard and got the unanimous decision. Now, you can say whatever you want about the judges and the scoring, but I had it for Lopez. I had him winning all 4 belts. Walks out with 4 belts. Lomachenko takes it. I think it's his first L. No, not his first, right? That wasn't his first L.
Oh, no, it wasn't his first. I think it was his second L, but it was his first L in a long time.
Let me make sure. Yeah, but we're talking about Lomachenko, who's been around forever. He's like 36 or something like that. Sorry, he's 32. My bad. He's 32, but in boxing years, that's not super old, but it's not super young either. Regardless, great fight. Kid's 23 years old. No word on a rematch yet, because I know guys is talking about that. I'm here for the rematch. No word on that yet, but according to Bob Arum, who's a dork, but dumb old motherfucker. I can't stand Bob Arum. But he said there's no rematch clause in the contract for the fight, which I find hard to believe, because these days every champion puts a rematch clause in their contract. But
I think he'll get the rematch. I mean, he deserves it, low key. Yeah. And then to be fair, if Teofimo can beat him again,
Yeah.
Sorry, bud. Like you get your rematch, but this is it, buddy. If you lose it again, that's it. You better turn it on the first fucking round.
Yes, sir. Sean says he loved that fight. Loma's still young. What up?
Well, quickly, I was just gonna say, as far as that boxing card goes, though, did you catch the fight 2 fights before the Lomachenko fight? Immediately after the MMA event, I put on the Lomachenko card. I thought the Lomachenko fight was starting, and there was like fucking 2 or 3 fights before that.
I jumped on here.
Okay. I just retweeted it to my Twitter account too. So if anybody's watching, you can go to my Twitter account and see it. Okay. There was a kid on the undercard named Edgar Berlanga from the Bronx.
I heard about that dude.
This fucking kid was I was fucking doing other shit, and I heard the broadcaster say he was 14-0 with 14 first round knockouts. So I'm like, all right, you little motherfucker. I was like,
holy shit,
and bigger than shit.
Yeah,
he knocked this motherfucker out in the first round. Now again, it's probably like Khabib padding his record in Russia, but listen, I'm here for it. 15-0, all of his wins in boxing, first round knockouts in boxing. I'm like, all right, yeah, like he opened up a massive, like literally Mike Tyson shit. Like he opened up a massive gash on dude's fucking head.
No, now, I can't play the audio, but the commentator is like, he's gotten so many fights in the first round. Can he get it now? And then he does. Like,
yeah, they probably could have let him go, but he was gonna get that knockout.
Yeah.
So I don't know who this kid is, but I will be finding his next fight, and I'm gonna pay attention to that, man.
Dude,
I mean, knockouts are one thing, but first round knockouts, that's that Mike Tyson vibe, and he fights like that too. Like he was just tearing into dude, young kid.
Dude, he was not worried about getting hit. His head stayed on the center line the whole damn time. Then he comes out like, look at him. He's like, what's up?
He was ready to rock. Now again, I don't know enough about boxing to know his competition and stuff like that. But still, 15 wins, all by first round knockout is impressive. Like everybody should probably keep an eye on that fucking kid.
Yeah. Loma's still young in his career though, only 14-2. Right? No, he'll be back. It's just whether or not he could beat Lopez is another question. All right, checking the headlines here before we get out of here. Obviously, Moraes was Rob Font. Oh yeah, OSP versus Jamal Hill is targeted for UFC event in December 5th. That's a good fight. What else we got? Yeah, that's about it. All right, anything else? Oh, Michael Chandler, real quick, because Michael Chandler's the backup in this fight. We're kind of hoping we don't need him, but he will be weighing in. And if he doesn't fight this weekend, Tony Ferguson's the only fight. Right.
Yeah, I mean, not his only fight. Lightweight's deep, right, but that's a great fight. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't make that fight. I mean, that's definitely the one to go to. But to be fair, if for whatever reason they can't do that, there's a few guys at lightweight that Michael Chandler matches up with very well. Like they'll have a fight for Mike lickety split one way or the other. Quite frankly, to be fair.
Why you hate Michael Chandler?
I wouldn't mind watching Mike Chandler and Conor.
He goes, fuck Chandler. Oh god. Yeah, hey, why not?
That would be fun if Dustin happens to fall out for some reason. At least it'll be a fresh fight for Conor. That'd be a good fight.
Did not know those were the odds.
I don't mind Justin. I don't mind Justin. Again, Justin could knock Khabib out in the first round, man. He could.
Booker B just trolled some folks on Twitter saying Khabib dropped out of the card. I love when they do that shit because with Khabib, it's believable.
Oh, yeah.
Not with Khabib, but in a Khabib fight, it's believable if someone dropped out.
Well, especially right now. Like right now with COVID, if somebody drops out at any moment, I just believe it immediately. Like, God damn it. I fucking do it.
Oh, there you go. Anyway. Also, he tweeted out, really too bad Khabib had to pull out. Oh, man, what a bummer. Hopefully he gets better soon. At least Gaethje versus Chandler still a good fight. Shit, was really looking forward to this. He got like 30 people to talk to him, to hit him up about it. 40 people liked it. All right. Because you remember, real quick, Izzy, what's his name? The MMA Insider, you know what I'm talking about? This is one dude, Izzy Garcia, I think his name was. And he used to go on Twitter and change his profile picture to the nose.
Yeah.
He's the pioneer of that shit. Because Raider knows.
Yeah. That dude used to fucking get me all the time because he used the Ariel's stupid fucking Montreal or whatever, the hat picture. That shit used to get me, boy.
So when I first saw, he never got me, But I remember I would hit him up about it. We ended up following each other after I saw the first one. I forgot who he said pulled out of a fight, but I was like, get the fuck out. I forgot what it was. Something stupid. Like, it was big, but it was stupid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, come on, man, that ain't real. And I hit him up on it. But before I could reply to his Twitter, to the tweet, yeah, Raider knows. Before I could reply to his tweet, like, you would see like hundreds of people like replying, like, are you kidding me? I can't believe it. Blah, blah, blah. And then finally, like, you know, people will wise up and be like, oh, you motherfucker. And he got a big following out of it. So, you know, good for him. But I don't even know if he still does it. But, or if he's even still around on Twitter. But that dude was always fun. But now everyone tries to do it and no one falls for it anymore. So
Right. Cat's out of the bag now.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, an hour 10, and it was a good, fun show. So we're gonna cut it here. We're gonna cut it here and enjoy the rest of our week so we can watch 254 this Saturday. I will. That fight, again, the card's super early, so I should be able to do a post-fight show. I will be doing play-by-play for KHI Press. If you can't watch it for whatever reason, you feel like following it on Twitter, I'm not going to bullshit. I'm decent at it. So come hang out over at KHI Press. All right? Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Of course, you guys know the websites, RepTheWarriors.com, SpicePros.com. Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as hell. Of course, MMA Gods, Otis, Sean Tracy was here. BTS, Drew probably went to sleep. Probably past his bedtime. Raider, of course. Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as hell. Enjoy the hell out of you guys. He got me on Connor. Then I mentioned on this show where I dropped the news about that troll. Yeah, okay, there. He knows. He remembers about Izzy. Anyway, everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as fuck. You can follow all of us. You guys, these are all handles. Jesse at Squad1083. Kirby's at Kirby_MMA. I'm at Ela32. KeyboardWarsMMA.com. Just keep fucking with us. All right. And tell your friends about us. All right. I know we're not junkie or we're not fighting or we're not ESPN. All right. But tell people about us and make this thing bigger. All right. We'll all do it together. Shoot the shit. All right, y'all. Good night and good night, Wilshire.